Hello everyone, I am Casey the Gamer, and it is time for another game review. Today I am taking a look at another incredibly fun NES game, The Goonies II by Konami. The Goonies II was released on March 18th, 1987 in Japan, and in November 1987 in North America. Honestly, until earlier this year, I didn't even know about this game. A couple of my friends talked about it, and I got the request to play it on a Twitch stream, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself for the most part. Now, let's take a closer look at The Goonies II. The story is relatively short and sweet. The Fratelli family is back and have captured Annie the Mermaid and the other Goonies. It's up to Mikey to save them all. Mikey adventures through a variety of locations like jungles, caves, dungeons, and an icy area, just to name a few, and deals with various members of the Fratelli family along the way. In addition to them, Mikey has to fight off many giant scorpions, bats, snakes, skeletons, knights, and more. Mikey eventually rescues all of his friends and frees Annie the Mermaid so she can go live freely in the sea. The Fratelli family is arrested once again and peace returns to the town. So, about Annie the Mermaid. She was a character made specifically for this game. She wasn't in the movie at all, and I thought maybe she would have been featured in the first game that only came out in Japan, with the exception of an arcade port a couple years later. But that's not the case. It just seems kind of random. The Goonies II is a side-scrolling platformer Metroidvania. You run and jump through the various areas, battling all kinds of enemies while trying to find items to help you locate your friends and save them. Combat is pretty basic, but you get a variety of weapons. The yo-yo is your starting weapon. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it gets the job done. You get a slingshot for some ranged attacks, but it requires ammo. Probably the best weapon in the game is the boomerang. Mikey throws it out, and it can hit enemies multiple times as it comes back to you. The downside to the boomerang is that it can be stolen from you by a certain enemy in the game, which is really annoying. You also get a harpoon gun, which is used in the underwater sections. In addition to those, there are two sub-weapons, bombs and Molotov cocktails. The bombs get dropped at your feet and then explode, and they deal a lot of damage. They can also reveal hidden doors. The Molotovs also deal a lot of damage but get thrown further and then burst into flames when they hit the ground. There are also various upgrades to your footwear. You start with the standard shoes, which don't do anything special, besides protecting your feet, I suppose. The hyper shoes, which are found in a hidden room at the start of the bridge area, allow you to run and climb faster. The spring shoes allow you to jump way higher than normal, which is also very useful. You'll just have to switch between the two for the appropriate situation. Other items include the helmet, which protects you from objects falling from the ceiling. The raincoat will protect you from the various hot and cold water in the hideout, and the bulletproof vest will decrease the amount of damage you take. There are even more items as well, but I figure it's best to talk about the other gameplay aspect first. In addition to the platforming action, whenever you enter a door, you are put into a first-person mode and given a few different options. You can go, which you input a direction to go up, down, left, or right if the room allows for it, which will take you to new areas or to another first-person room that may be hiding more stuff. There is the hit option, which you can use to hit the walls to reveal secret items. Or in certain instances, you can hit the old lady to get another item. Damn, Mikey. There is the take option, which is used to take the items you find. And then there is the tools option, which lets you scroll through and select the tools you have to use in these rooms. Now onto the tools. You get keys, which are used to unlock safes and to free the captured Goonies. You find a lot of these in the first-person rooms, but enemies randomly drop them as well. The hammer is likely the first tool you'll find. You can use it to hit certain walls and reveal secrets that your fist doesn't. The candle lights up dark rooms, and the transceiver tool will give you hints to the location of other Goonies and other items. The ladder allows you to climb up or down any holes you find or make with the hammer. The glasses allow you to see invisible doors or objects, and the scuba gear allows you to go underwater. Another item that can be found in the rooms is the magic locator. It puts a dot on your map of where the nearest Goonie is being held. There are a few hidden doors located throughout the game as well. Inside these doors you meet Konami Man. I never knew Konami Man was even a thing before this game, but apparently he's been around forever, appearing in several Konami games over the years. Anyway, Konami Man's purpose in this game is to heal you when you find him, which is always appreciated. Speaking of health, the big benefit of saving a Goonie, besides being required to beat the game, is that for every Goonie you rescue, you get an additional health bar, which is definitely going to come in handy, as the enemies can be a big pain in the ass. Like I mentioned in the story section, there is a wide variety of enemies, ranging from members of the Fratelli family to various monsters and animals. Some of the family members you can kill, and others you can only knock down. You can kill pretty much any of the other enemies, but watch out because they can respawn pretty quickly. There are environmental hazards as well. There's ice physics in the ice section, as well as icicles that'll hurt you if you don't have the helmet. There's waterfalls and geysers that'll also hurt you unless you have the raincoat. And we can't forget about those classic Konami bottomless pits. Nothing you can really do about those besides avoiding them. You're probably going to die in this game a lot. Just go in accepting that fact. It is pretty forgiving because there are infinite continues, and you get to keep all of your important upgrades, like the shoes and the helmet and all that kind of stuff, as well as most of your tools. And you do keep all of the Goonies you've saved as well. You do, however, lose all of your weapons besides the yo-yo, and you also lose all of your keys. But it could be much worse. The simple fact of infinite continues and letting me keep most of my items is what made it easier to keep going the first time I played. The game can be pretty cryptic about what you're supposed to do, but it's fun to explore. And if you get stuck, just apply the Metroid logic. When you're in the first-person rooms, instead of bombing everything like in Metroid, hit all of the walls, hit the floor, hit the ceiling with either the fist or the hammer. It's easy to get lost, but it feels oh so good when you finally get unlost and make some progress. So yeah, you make your way through the Fratelli hideout and everything that it encompasses, which is quite a lot apparently. Collect your items and save the other Goonies. Once all 6 of the Goonies are free, you can go and free Annie. You can find Annie's area early, but it won't let you unlock it without the others having been freed first. Once Annie is free, you have beaten the game. The Fratellis go back to jail and everyone is happy. Overall, the game can be a little janky. It can be hard to figure out exactly what you're supposed to do, but it's still a really fun time. Like with Metroid or other games like it, it feels so good when you get the new upgrades and items and then you get that aha moment and figure out what you're supposed to do. The Goonies II features 8-bit pixel art graphics. I think the graphics for the backgrounds and the enemies look pretty good. The graphics for Mikey are just pretty basic in comparison. I think the sound effects are fine, typical NES sounds, very fitting. And I think the soundtrack is really good and fitting as well. Just a super fun soundtrack. The Goonies II is a really fun game, and I'm glad that I played it. Despite the jank or the cryptic nature of some of the stuff involved, it's a really fun time, and it scratches that Metroidvania itch. The only really frustrating part for me was being so close to the end and getting lost while streaming it, when all I wanted to do was finish it so I could go to bed. But I did still end up having a really good time with it. So if you're looking for a Metroidvania to play, I say give this one a shot. And just remember to hit or hammer everything except for Konami Man, because then he won't help you anymore if you do. But yeah, give Goonies II a play sometime. Thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And if you want to see more of me, you can catch me streaming all kinds of stuff over on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/CaseyTheGamer91. And you can find the link for that down in the description below. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope to catch you next time. Peace out.